PDC titles in 3 successive seasons. Don't know if you were aware of that, Paul.
139.
He won his first Players' Championship title on UK soil, the other having been won in Dublin, of course, in 2017. So only 11 players
84.
have won multiple PDC titles in 3 successive seasons. Suljovic joins a very elite bunch of players. However, Paul,
yes,
can you name the first player to achieve that fate? I will leave that with you. I don't need an answer straight away.
140.
Rod Harrington?
Incorrect.
I get the feeling it might have been quite early in the PDC days.
60.
Someone like... That's not going to be Philip Taylor, is it?
He is one of them, of course, but he is not the name I'm after.
Peter Manley?
Correct. Well done. 2001, 2 and 3.
58.
Multiple titles for one Dart Manley.
Yeah, he was quite good back then. He's always been very good. Former world number 1, of course.
43.
Now the trivia's out of the way. Nothing trivial about this encounter. Big opportunity for Wessel Nijman. But a very tall order by the same token. Mensur Suljovic, the number 9 seed this weekend.
86.
One thing that's been happening lately, Rob, I've noticed with Suljovic, he's been tinkering with his kit ever so slightly. Whether it's been a different coloured flight, a different coloured stem, and I may have mentioned this when he won in Vienna.
78.
But today, he's got a different point in, with a little bit of grip at the top of it. And that's something I've never seen him use before.
Yeah, on the first line.
It seems to be working. Starting with a 14 darter, which is exactly how Nathan Aspinall started his assault on this title in the first game of this afternoon, which was probably the game of the day.
Absolutely. Certainly a candidate, a very strong candidate as well. Just another footnote, of course, about that success he had recently on the Pro Tour. It was in Players' Championship 26. What a final it was against Ian White as well. Defying some astonishing stats from the Diamond to win that final.
60.
And also a 9-dart leg from Ian White in that one as well.
Well, the thing is, Mensur Suljovic is a player that doesn't get affected by what his opponent does. He does his own thing, lives in his own bubble on the stage or on the streaming board in the case of the Ian White final. He has this ability to forget about what's happened before and just get on with what the challenge is ahead. And like our MC Richard Ashdown said at the start of this match, Mensur Suljovic has made the final here, and I'm sure that he would love to add to his tally of titles and get one right here in Gibraltar.
It was a very exuberant handshake from Mensur at the start of this as well. It nearly ripped Nijman's arm out of his socket.
Yeah, fair play to Mensur. I mean, when he shakes your hand,
you know about it.
Stings.
Yeah.
He is made of some pretty tough stuff. And young Wessel is about 8 stone wet through. He's about as thin as a Subway sandwich.
Which leads us nicely to another little quirky fact about young Wessel Nijman, is the fact that he works for a well-known branch of, or a well-known sandwich provider branch in the Netherlands. You can see the name of that sandwich maker on his shirt.
Seems to be settled into Euro Tour life now after that drubbing in Prague. I think you start to see the best of players once they've won a game and they're playing the day after. Getting on that stage is so much easier on day 2. Suljovic will not get a shot at tops, but he will put the pressure on for the young man.
40.
Yeah, throwing in that casual treble 14 for good measure there to set up the opportunity. And he may well get the opportunity as well. Double 10 for Nijman. He's gone next door. Left himself 32. Double 4 if he gets the chance.
Loves double 16, Suljovic. Hope he likes 8s. He does indeed. And he puts his hand up as if to say, young Wessel should have won that leg. He should have, but he didn't. And Nijman is another example of the tallest nation in the world. He is... What, 19 years old?
19, yeah.
He's about 19 foot tall as well.
87.
June the 26th, 2000, his birthday.
Just another one of the crop of young players who were born in this millennium.
Millennial players, yeah.
Remember the first player in this who was born in this millennium to play on the Euro Tour?
60.
Was it Nico Bloom?
It was Nico Bloom. Had a winning debut against Josh Payne.
Yeah, he's not. There's another one. I think he's not much older than one of the Rodriguez's as well.
100.
But yeah, Nico Bloom was the first.
Had Adam Gaulas as well in Vienna.
17 years old, yeah.
140.
The future's bright, and in this case, the future's orange for Wessel Nijman.
I do like the colour he's wearing today, young Wessel. I like light grey on a dart player. It just looks good on camera, but as far as dart shirts are concerned,
Yeah,
Mensur Suljovic just takes some stopping right now.
that deep gunmetal grey for Mensur. It's an eye catcher. As was that 180 for Mensur as well.
100. Mensur 134.
I reckon that would make a really good Austria national football strip, that one.
The away shirt, certainly, yeah. They've stuck with white for decades. If they ever fancy a change, look no further. Double 16, look no further. Mensur Suljovic 3-0, going well in the early stages of this one. Very much in stark contrast to how Nijman started off yesterday against Darren Webster. If you weren't with us for that one, he raced into a 3-0 lead against the Demolition Man
140.
with a 13 darter, a 15 darter, and a 14 darter. He actually led a 5-1 at one stage, but then in the end it was a very nervous finale for him. He
100.
allowed Webster back into it 5-all, and then, even then, he had to seal it with his 10th match dart in the end. So very grateful to get over the line in that one.
100.
I think the best thing about that performance for young Wessel was the fact that Darren Webster came back at him in typical Darren Webster fashion, but he saved his best darts when the pressure was firmly on him. It was a great
100.
climax to the match, and you could see from him just what he needed to release emotion and pressure-wise at the end. It was relief, and it was pure glee, really, because when you get your first one on the European Tour, you remember it.
Yeah. He's done a fair bit of travelling as Nijman of late as well. He had to go to Riesa for the qualifiers for this tournament. It took place on the weekend just before, or the Thursday night before the recent International Darts Open. And the impressive thing was he was up against Mike de Decker, who'd already just qualified for Riesa itself. Then had to play Mike de Decker in the final round of qualifying and came through 6-5 with an average of 101.3. So this young man can play, no doubt about it. He beat Diogo Portela as well in round 3, the Brazilian.
A bit of who's who of people in that qualifier who have been going to the South and West European qualifier all season, and that performance to beat Mike de Decker was eye-catching.
Yeah, Nijman here looking at double 16, and he finds double 16. And the other good thing was that he started off with a routine win. He beat Thomas Lazic, the young German, 6-0, averaged only 83, but round on round his average just increased incrementally, and then in the end it was, like I say, a very eye-catching 101.3 that got the job done.
Well, he knows that he's going to have to put in a performance here, Wessel, if he's going to get close to Suljovic. You can see the start from Mensur, and the answer from Wessel has been good, but he should have been 2-2 after 3 missed darts from 40 earlier in the match. I mean, that's typical Mensur Suljovic, isn't it? Around about the 102 mark. We've talked about 99 being the Mensur Suljovic game and having about 60% in his doubles. Well, he's playing better than 99 this autumn, this summer. He's been absolutely brilliant.
83.
Yeah, he's not renowned for his 180s and his ton-plus averages, is Mensur, but he's ticking over very nicely in this one. The third dart average is significantly strong as well. And once again, the third dart there gets him the 140. 3 from 4 on his double so far. And the 134 checkout also standing out as well.
98.
So far, so good for Mensur.
130.
Seen this one today from Carl Wilkinson when he was playing against Darrell Gurney. May look at the bullseye now.
65.
Cuts his score in half. And Mensur isn't going to the Champions League, is he? This year? Wasn't in the top 8. I think he was 9th.
100. Mensur requires 65.
Be a shame to not have the former champion there.
Yeah, but he's got that one on his CV. He can move on and focus on other battles to fight further down the road. 4-1 now.
Wessel to throw first.
Did you hear about what Mensur said in the last couple of weeks?
What about wanting to be, or claiming confidently that he's got what it takes to be a world champion.
He's going to be world champion.
That. I was just going to make the point that he said that not once but twice, maybe even 3 times as well. He first sort of suggested it after the success he had in Vienna, and I thought that might be down to the fact it was a little bit over exuberance. It was on home soil, maybe just got a bit carried away, but he reiterated it, didn't he, after that title in Barnsley as well. He says, well, his quote was, "This year I am the world champion. This was the best final for me." That was the one against Ian White.
134.
And he then said, everybody is playing brilliant at the moment. Ian, Daryl Gurney, Gerwyn Price and me are the best players at the moment. Spot the potential glaring omission from that list.
45.
Let me think. What about the world number 1? Now, I know that Mensur has beaten him in a final, but you can't omit the best player in the world from that list. And the guys that he's mentioned have played fabulously this year.
And okay, people might say, well, yeah, Van Gerwen over the summer in particular hadn't been firing on all cylinders. But
one thing
to not make that short list of 4,
100.
I don't know. Maybe
a little bit disrespectful?
I wouldn't say disrespectful. I don't think there's anything malicious behind it. I just think it's I think it is specifically a form thing for Mensur. I don't think he's obviously discounting MVG,
58.
but it's an interesting topic of debate, certainly.
I agree. I think the most impressive thing, though, is that Mensur feels he is ready to make that assault on the Ali Pali title. And
100.
to quote Wayne Mardle during the earlier part of my career, I once said that I was the best, or I believe I am the best double 16 hitter in the world. And Wayne said, it's not a question of whether he is, it's about whether he believes he is. And with Mensur, it's a case of he believes that he can be world champion this year. And that is very, very, very striking.
The other thing about Mensur is as well, prior to that victory in Vienna, which was a very emotive occasion for him, he hadn't won a PDC title since the Danish Darts Open in June of last year, so it had been a long time coming. And then to get another one on the back of that, very impressive indeed. Tops here for
74. Mensur 98.
This is the kind of shot he usually takes out to rip your heart out. Suljovic would love the 60. Gets it. Not even anywhere near the wire. That is typical Mensur Suljovic in those 2 darts. And that card said, go mental, Mensur Suljovic. He's not going to go mental, but he is going to go 5-1 up.
I was half expecting him to split that and go 10 double 14, but he didn't have any of it. He went straight for the double 19, and it paid dividends. And that just is a great illustration of the confidence that is oozing through Mensur Suljovic right now.
Well,
59.
One of my favourite movies is a thing called Wanted. And there's a famous scene in that movie where someone shoots the wings off a fly. And I get the feeling that Mensur Suljovic could probably ping the wings off a fly with a dart. He's that good right now.
He is borderline ton plus average here. He needs to maintain it.
Well, he's proved, hasn't he, that you don't need a massive average to beat a massive average. You just need to time it well. A la the 98 checkout. When you get the shot, take it out.
And once again, like I said, not renowned for his 180s, just the one so far tonight.
140.
It's the ton plus scores, it's the finishing 5 out of 6. I mean, you just cannot live with that at times. Certainly Nijman can't live with this, and this has been a bit of a step up in trip for him tonight. But a great occasion for him, and I'm sure he'll take plenty from this experience as well.
140.
And I'm sure we'll see plenty of Wessel Nijman in the future.
That lady holding that Mensur sign's got to get the new shirt. She's wearing the old kit. Maybe she's gone retro Mensur.
I don't see anything wrong with that. It's a reminder of where it all began for Mensur.
When he did win his first PDC title at the International Darts Open in Riesa. I was there.
After all those semi-finals, something like 9 semi-finals, he fell down at the final hurdle, second last hurdle. And now he's got 7 PDC titles to his name.
Can be a threat in Dublin. We see it every year when he qualifies. But he is more threatening this year than ever.
Well, I think purely and simply he's great on doubles, and it just lends itself to Mensur.
79. Wesley 120.
Well, Wessel needs a little bit of Hollywood here. Bull 25 bull to stay in it. That'll do. Don't hit the bull. Don't hit the bull!
Oh, it's too good. Now, a wry smile on the face of Mensur at the back of the stage, and Mensur ready to pounce on double 18.
Mensur 36.
And the champagne, well, it was on ice, but are the the corks even about to pop here for Mensur?
Could well be. He loves double 18.
Likes this other side of the board as well, though. Right next door to the double 14, double 9. And double 9 is found. And it's a shame for Wessel Nijman that it ended in the way it did, but 6-1, I think, is a little bit harsh on the teenager, but Mensur Suljovic, a man who means business once again on the European Tour. He will take that. It's not quite the ton plus average, but it's not a million miles away, but the finishing was really strong from the number 9 seed, and maybe, just maybe, there could be an 8th PDC title on the cards this weekend for Mensur. Not